no kicking, but I
on the
have
show.
kicked it into gear because I have hit record. Da-da.
All right. Well, here we go. Is this your opening time or is my opening time? I forget.
We'll
I think
split
you
it.
opened last
Hey
time
everybody,
in
welcome
the
to the
last
show.
episode. Hey everybody, welcome.
Yeah, thanks
I'm
for
Rita.
stopping by the Rita and Ryan podcast.
Here we are,
We have
live
name
and on
tags.
video. We have name tags.
We have name tags, so you can tell who is who.
That's right. And I'm Rita, in case you can't see my name tag. It's too low on my sweater.
Right, and I am
But
Ryan.
speaking of sweaters. But let us just promote. I can be found on my website called Small Business Podcasts with an S.com.
Org.
Sorry. .org. Thank you.
It is on the
and
screen.
And also it is on the screen because, well, I guess everyone needs to know now, Ryan. I've never learned to read.
But you do need to tell them.
I have to do everything from memory.
Because saying and hearing, seeing and hearing does help. So, smallbusinesspodcasts.org. I will reiterate.
Thank you, Ryan.
Go there. Check it out.
And you can read for me.
Yes.
Also on Twitter, you can find me at Rita_smallbizcoach. And Ryan, where can you be found?
You can find me at trashcanconductor.com. I am there. Through there you can find the stuff that I do. I make cartoons and I do music. Our podcasts are there. I make fun t-shirts and things like that. So look out for the Rita and Ryan podcast merch coming soon. And so
merch. Save your money.
And you can find me on Twitter at NIS1ST. And so...
Well, now that we've got that out of the way, this is episode 6. This is our second taping of episode 6.
Yes.
Because Ryan messed up the recording from last time. So now we have to remember every single thing we said as we talked through our stream of consciousness. So I would just like to say, as the person who talks 90% of the time on the show, how difficult it was for me to think, how am I going to fill an hour?
It is not difficult at all. I was correct. We are an endless supply of relevant topics that everyone, we ask the questions that people want to know.
Also known as jibber jabber.
Yes. Yes. That boy can talk.
So, yeah, right. Speaking of friends of ours, of the Rita and Ryan show, your mother, let's say hello to your mother because
hello,
she
Mom.
loves this. Hello. She made her laugh out loud, LOL, Mom, which is high praise. Yes. And our other fan, Chef Jenny Fox.
Hello.
Chef Jenny Fox.
Shout out Jenny Fox. Chef
Jenny
Fox.
Ryan, you used to be my best friend, but now I think Jenny is kind of coming in for the best friend.
Uh-oh.
We had a Zoom we had a Zoom girls night out last night. And
nice.
Right in the middle, you texted to tell of the horrific story of how episode 6 was lost. And Jenny is so funny. Because I said, I'm going to tease Ryan because he lectured me on, show people, just work through all the technical difficulties. And then for the whole thing to end up being wrong, I said, that's so funny. And Jenny just was laughing. It's like, yeah. And I said, I'm going to have to talk all over again. How's that going to be possible to fill in a full hour making a joke about it? But she is lovely, and I'm segueing into Jenny because Jenny and I are working on doing a cooking show, and we have forced Ryan's hand to help us produce it.
Don't tell too much, though.
I won't. I'm not going to. That's all I'm going to do. Only the
Yes.
fact that poor Ryan has got to deal with me and Jenny, and just wait, because if you think I can talk, wait till you get the two of us together. And that's why I said the next Rita and Ryan show, the first one we had the guest, have Jenny on and see if we can. I said the funny thing is going to see if Ryan can say anything except
I'll be
what,
I would
yeah.
just be looking back and forth between your screens.
That's right, right. So, but anyway.
Like Pong.
Oh, okay.
Am I
So
playing Atari?
stay tuned. I know, no, but this is I'm
Am I
glad you
6
mentioned
again?
that. I know. So Jenny, we love you. Thank you for watching. She said
Thanks,
Jenny
Jenny.
was the one who said it was the best show on the internet.
Yes.
So Jenny,
she
high
apparently
praise.
clearly has good taste.
Oh, she does. And she's working with us. So come on. She's part of the new family of, we're just gonna make shows. We're show people now.
Yes.
We're show people now. We are show people.
That is what I came to you guys with and offered to do. So I am happy to do it. I like putting together shows and I like producing different content. It's fun.
But let's be truthful, because I think I called you and said, Ryan, I need you to do this.
Right.
And you said, oh, okay.
Well, it's
it wasn't as if I said, hey, let's talk about it. What do you think about this? I just said, Ryan, I need you to do this.
I would almost be offended if you didn't ask me to do it.
Oh, good.
I would be
there's
like,
another show.
Oh, what?
There,
Am I not good enough anymore?
There's another show that, and this is I'm going to segue into one of the funny things Jenny said, is I was talking about someone who said, I said, oh, you're so, someone who shall be nameless, remain nameless, said,
Anonymous.
There's a nameless, anonymous, nameless, he who shall not be mentioned or named. Anyway, I was telling the story. He said, oh my gosh, I was talking to him and he's so informative and he's so just people would just really love to hear what he said. But he goes, nah, I'm kind of not into that. And Jenny all of a sudden stops and says, wait, this is Rita talking. And she just goes, oh my gosh, now I'm not gonna be able to do it. But it's like, oh, I have to look it up because it was, oh darn it. It's like telling, friends who tells jokes and they don't get the end right. I'm having that moment.
Oh yeah,
here.
People that mess up the punchline.
Yeah, like I'm doing right now. But oh no. So it's like Jenny's like, it's like, oh well, it's Rita talking. So Rita's like going, oh, you don't want to say anything? I got this. Just show up. But I guess he had to be there. Anyway.
I have the talking covered.
That's right.
Just sit back. Do you have laryngitis?
I know. Just nod your head.
Rita.
Say, remember when we talked before and you said this and that was really interesting, right? But the way she said it, because I love like, oh yeah, that's true. I could talk for both of us. So just come on the show. As Ryan probably could attest. But I want to tell you that I am on Twitch now.
Nice.
Twitch TV.
Sweet.
And I'm a user.
So you playing video? You playing video games?
I'm not playing. But
Rita out there playing Mario Kart, throwing turtle shells at people.
Well, the thing is that, but then here's the funny story. So I'm really interested in, I think I told you a little bit, but I'm really interested in the whole concept of watching people play video games, because everyone that I know besides me plays video games, all age ranges. To the point, I have friends that have video parties and I'm the only one not playing.
Oh, wow.
Right. So it's all age ranges that play. And so the Twitch community, when I heard about it, I'm like, and then looking into it and talking about it, it's number one, it's started me on a journey, because and this is going to be the title of an article I plan on writing called "It's Not Just a Game," but it's the community behind it. You have followers and you have
Yeah, we
if
should
someone's
be friends on Twitch then.
all
We
right,
should follow each other. I
absolutely,
will we'll find each other after this.
because the
I'm Trash Can Conductor. So if
oh,
anybody wants to follow me on Twitch, I do live art streams. I eventually want to get into doing music, which is also another great thing that Twitch is used for. So it's cool that you're on there because you can actually put content on Twitch through some
yeah,
of the
like right,
talk shows and stuff, which is cool.
going through the
The
settings. Yeah, I'm not lie. I mean, I'm only the user now, so I would call myself a lurker, just going in and
right.
watching different games and stuff. But super, it's really fun, and it kind of goes to what speaks to me, which is a community.
Who knows?
And
Maybe you'll see the Rita and Ryan podcast over on Twitch.
well, there you go. It's possible.
It
So
is possible. I have had more success at doing live streaming on Twitch than I have on YouTube.
right,
Like
so
I've had less because I know
also
you want to do this show live, and so who knows?
why not?
Maybe let us know in the comments if you would watch us live on Twitch.
So I was talking to our friend Alex about it, and I said,
Shout out to Alex.
shout out to Alex. We love you, Alex. Really, so smart. So
I need to
I
hit
said,
him up. Like
okay.
Sorry.
So but the story is, so I said, so we were talking about it, and I said, well, I'm inspired because I love the community, and I'm using the analogy of we do watch people play sports all the time. Think of baseball, basketball, hockey. We're just watching it in a different capacity, right? We watch from the TV instead of through our computer screen. So there's a level of intimacy with, you can actually be talking to people and you're friending people, and and because of the love of that game or that sport.
Participating in the chat rooms.
Right.
A rapper I really like, Murs. He does
Mhm.
freestyling all the time on
That's cool.
Twitch, and I like to tune in there. Like he'll rap about whatever you type in
Right.
the chat, and it's a pretty fun stream.
So I'm
music
drawn to it, right? So I'm drawn to it mainly because there's a zillion apps out there, but this seems more organic, and it's also, I like it that some people are playing for the world's record, and some people are playing for their personal best, and yet everybody who's following, people based on a game they're playing, or because they like following the gamer, it's all a really positive, encouraging kind of thing.
right.
And so, that's my first take and first view. But where Alex comes in, so I talked to him, I said, but I will tell you, in the late 80s at the bowling alley, there was a great game called Asteroids. And I was like the queen of Asteroids. Game. You remember that game?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that was an Atari game too. But anyway, so I'm thinking, I'm going to go look that up. So this is the funny part. I go and Google Asteroids, the game. The number one hit is AARP. And AARP has the game. And there's a whole list of people doing, all their scores. And you can access Asteroids and play it on the AARP app.
Wow.
Wow is right.
You should stream it on Twitch.
I'm sitting there going, oh my God. I'm sitting there talking to Alex and going, the Asteroids back in the day. And then all of a sudden it's saying AARP. I'm thinking, how the heck, what's the line anymore? I thought AARP was like 60 years and older. That's the American older people thing, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, how low are they going? If you're a teenager in the 80s, then you're a senior in the 2020s. Well, I guess they could think, yeah. Well, no, because all right, so that's 21
maybe
years in 2000.
In their 20s. I don't know.
AARP's for old people.
Well, so now I'm saying maybe somebody in their 20s in the 80s.
Right, but that's right. So you go 80, say it's 85. Okay, let's just say it's 85, which is how many years? That's 35 years. ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
35 years.
maybe the marketing people for
Maybe it
AARP
is.
were
Maybe the
maybe they were
cutoff
like,
is,
"What's old?" And they were like, "Asteroids is old." And so
or maybe
maybe
ARP,
they're
the
bad
cutoff is,
marketers.
right, 49, 50 years old. Well, anywho, so what cracks me up is I'm sitting there doing it and I go do that search and I think, I can't help but just put my foot in my mouth because it's like, I was as shocked as myself when I was looking at that going, ARP. It was funny, but then I'm thinking, because now I have to look at all you youngsters and say, do you remember that game? But no, I'm gonna see. I'm wondering. I have to look on later. I'll look on Twitch to see if they have asteroids.
Um, I would dare say somebody probably at some point on Twitch goes and plays retro games.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and there's really cool. Like Alex was saying, there's a guy who takes old consoles and redoes it because some of the older consoles are much more usable, easier than the newer ones. You know, they feel like they've got something to all these different things. So anyway, I'm excited,
Yeah,
and it looks really, yeah,
there's a bunch of fun shows on there.
yeah,
Different weird talk shows. A
not as
lot
weird
of
as this.
there's a lot of music on there. Like
Yeah,
so when all of the music venues got shut down, a lot of people started banding together to throw these Twitch shows.
well, that's awesome.
And so a lot of people like Fake 4 Inc. It's a indie record company label.
Mm-hmm.
They have Fake 4 Fridays, and they have a bunch of different bands come through and play on
Nice.
these Twitch live stream shows. And
That so yeah, so it's a really interesting. I love learning about things all the time. I gravitate towards more of the community, a lot of different people, and it just buttresses my thought of it could be a 10-year-old, playing video games. It could be a 60-year-old playing video games, right? It's kind of like they're there for the love of that game, the different style, and there's so much to learn about video games, even if you are not adept at playing them. But I'm getting it now. It was where before, and that's why it's kind of like the impetus for an article that it's because there's a stigma to gamers, just that there can be a negative stigma,
right.
right? And just kind of like my buddies who were computer guys, who is, it's like, oh, you're just like, you live in a cave kind of thing. And it's like, that's not necessarily true. It's just that it's their special, that they love. Well, it's just bizarre because it's that now we're so online. It's like the computer guys, 25 years ago, who were living in front of their computer, or writing code or playing games. Now it's like an everyday thing.
Right.
It's such a part of our culture. So, but they were looked at as, go out and, go to a party or go to a dance or something. And they're antisocial, which they weren't. They just talk to people they want to talk to, and then they had their interest to be creative and play a game and then do their personal best. So instead of going out for track, they play a game. So it's just really interesting. And I remember the times in the 80s and early 90s where there was all this drama about how video games are going to ruin your life and you're never going to be able to, amount to anything. And then and then fast forward 20 years and you have to think, all those guys playing videos, and I say, when someone is electrically inclined, or a person who can naturally take things apart and put them back together, it's like the first time someone takes a toaster apart and puts it back together correctly with all the right parts naturally. It's like those guys who sat in front of those computers are kind of leading the country in terms of how we communicate with each other. So it's, I would venture to guess some of the top people in tech played a game or two, and probably still do. Yeah, so it's just really interesting. And then all the different companies.
I wish I were good at video games. I don't play video games because I'm terrible at them, so they're not fun for me.
Right.
And
oh, but it's so funny. It's so funny. Alex was.
I would rather, like, when I was a kid, I was just bad at video. Like, I played them. I've had Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Right.
and all of that, but I was just bad. And so I would go write music or draw or something because I was
Right.
better at those things.
Right.
And but I kind of wish I were better at video games.
Well, and I think too, my thing was patience.
Yeah.
Because say there's, I'll just use examples. Say there's like 10 tracks you have to get through, but you have to pass each track to get to 10. And then you go, oh, I mastered 1, I mastered 2, I mastered 3. And then you miss 4. But then, okay, I got to go back up. Even though I mastered 1, 2, and 3, I lost on 3. And that whole thing of going, I can't get past 3, but I've already mastered it. And then it'd be like, forget it, I'm not playing. But there's a level of patience to keep going, doing it over and over and over again. But Alex was funny. He goes, there's one game, he said, I was looking into, and someone says something and they don't really mean what it sounds like, and he's like, it doesn't require any skill. Like that. I said, well, thanks for thinking of me, Alex. And I made a joke about it, going, I get totally what he says. Instead of it being driven by speed or beat the game, it's more of a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Which when I looked at it, I went, oh, that looks really cool. I think I could do that. You're trying to guess who the murderer is in the group, and with other people. But it's a great suggestion to go in and feel for the first time to go play a game with live people, other people in the room. So I'm going to try that.
Nice.
We should do it together. You should do it too. We should go on Twitch and go and sign up for a game. Wouldn't that be fun? Is that how it works?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the gaming side.
Oh, I see. You use Twitch for alternate
right.
uses.
I do. I've done art streams
on
there.
Got
like, yeah, when I'm messing with something in Photoshop, I'll put that on there. Like I have like the overlay that I have on here for the Rita and Ryan podcast through OBS. I also have one for Trash Can Conductor production stuff.
Nice.
Where it's set up a little bit.
The same kind? No, you change the color?
No, everything completely, like the whole layout is different for me to do. Right. For me to do art streams. Like, cause where my box is, like I'll put that down. It's down in the corner, and then I do the green screen thing.
Oh yeah.
And so, it just kind of looks like cause I have the green screen there. So it removes that, and then it makes whatever I'm working on like over that as well as the rest of the stream. So it looks kind of cool. And then yeah, I don't know where else I was going with that story.
Well, I think it's awesome, and
hope you were wearing a seatbelt because I slammed the brakes on that story. Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited, and so the second 6th episode. Now I can announce I am on Twitch.
6.2.
6.2.
That might have to be on the thumbnail.
And I'm on Twitch, and I'm excited, and for the journey, and then to just see, from this point of view of, I'm not a great, unless there's an asteroid team, and I'd have to brush up my skills. But I'm really excited to learn about the communities and the support, and I love stuff like that. So shout out to Alex always for his incredible computer help, but also explaining it to me, and from that point of view, because that's what made me go, oh, I'm gonna write about it. So that's interesting. But I do have something I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And mainly I want to define something, because that term soulmate? Yes. Right. So intellectually, we can say that means like, who your soul is, and then somebody who meets. So is that what it is? So soulmate is romantically. I know my soul. Is that what it is mainly?
Yeah.
Can a friend be a soulmate?
That's normally how I associate it, is like romantically soulmate. The Disney definition of it, if you were.
Because I think if souls are energy, because isn't that what a soul is, an energy? We can't take it out. It's something that we say as humans, that it's with us when we're born or conceived, and it leaves us when we die. It's just these are our body. and it goes on to somewhere else. Right? But then doesn't that mean that there's a whole world of souls and they all know each other? So the thing is that are you finding your soulmate in the in the human world? Sorry, yeah, in the physical world, which by a body. That's what always confuses me, because I just think maybe it's a made up word.
Right.
Right. Because I mean, is it just a way to say, because it's really hard to explain the word love. So is soulmate kind of in that same world of it's what anybody thinks it is? Because you say a soulmate would be like, this is the person I was meant to be with forever. But it's still, those are kind of a euphemistic look at a relationship.
Right.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking it goes under that word love. Like,
And
what's love?
not everybody has one or finds
Right.
one.
And do we as humans create words like that?
Some
to
people
say,
have way
I
too
got
many
one.
soulmates. Some people go through way too many soulmates.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, because it's like, how do we know? How do we know it's a soulmate? Or are we really just saying this person completes me? Whatever that means.
Right.
It's just I get just hung up on, I don't know what that means. I know what the words mean, but it sounds like you're just saying that this person makes me look at the rest of my life, if I'm with them, as better than it would be without them.
It's a heavy label to put on someone before the end of your story, too.
Right.
You know, like in the middle of your story, you don't know.
See, that's why I would think that it's also, if you label someone else your soulmate, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure. And also, if you already know, I personally think someone unfolding through time, like never knowing every single thing about, and I would assume if you are convinced that person's a soulmate, you pretty much, know your future, which would not be, it would be comfortable, I guess, but it wouldn't be unpredictable, that's something for me to go, oh, I did not know that. That's really interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no real experience in this as to
Right.
being single.
Yeah. But do you think you've been in love before?
Maybe.
Whatever that is.
I don't know. I mean, I've felt some sort of way.
It's
like
I read this great, yeah. Right.
That's all I really know about, is that I've felt some sort of way, whether it's love or I don't know.
Yeah, I think that
it's messy.
It's messy, and also for me, I think sometimes what people would understand from this would be me personally, like what are the big important things? Like, I'm in trust with that person. That's big. I trust someone. That's a big thing. I'm in I'm using it like as if I'm in love, but I like the protection of this relationship, someone to be covering me and I cover them, kind of thing. And so all those things that are like, and so that's why it's so interesting in terms of a definition of love, because it's really hard to define. And it's just a word that means, and maybe that's what the word is for, amore. What maybe that's the word is to say, it's that warm, fuzzy feeling you feel when it's an emotion that but where does it come from, right? So if you had a distant parent who didn't show you what we think of as love, how do you know what it is? You just imagine it, so you make it up. Maybe
I don't know.
So that's not a subject you can talk about.
No, because I don't know anymore, man. I'm
I know women are for
perpetually
Mars, for Venus.
single, like
totally cool, like totally.
Yeah, that's a whole other. I
topic
would
you don't want to talk about.
Yeah, like, man, I'm one of those people that I probably should have been married off in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. I need someone to take care of me.
Like an arranged marriage.
Yeah. I'm a mess.
No. But I think yeah, so it's just really interesting when you see something, you go, soulmate, what is that? And I read this really great book about,
Yeah, it seems nice. It
yeah,
like from the
and
outside looking in,
right,
it seems
and then
nice. I don't I guess I just I haven't been able to find that connection with another person.
right, and I always wonder, I always think, because sometimes I think for myself, it's like, do I know what it is? Do I have it? Am I soulless? I don't know, because like I can define it as if I'm a dictionary, but is it a feeling? And it comes about because it is. I read a book where they're psychologists, psychiatrists. They're always, the academics are always studying, and they said what's coming through more and more that's not on the emotion scale that they're going to add is the word disgust. Like there's that feeling of disgust towards someone, that, and then they're trying to unravel it to go, how do you get that? And that's that kind of that judgy, um, I'm looking at you, and where before it would either be anger, fear, joy, and now adding disgust to it. Right? And I'm thinking, so
I have
that's
a
an
bunch
interaction
of
with somebody
I
else,
have a bunch of self-deprecating jokes that I will.
right? But it's just interesting with words, and then but you read something like that and go, they're still studying what the heck this means based on a panel of thousands of people over so many years, from their the developmental stages all the way to their adult life, things they go through. And is that just the human experience, how our brain develops, how we're raised, what our environment dictates, how our peers either pressure us, or whether you're a leader or a follower, all those different things. It's so interesting to think of a word, and then we all have the dictionary, and there's an agreement that, oh yes, that's what that means. But then to go, well, geez, you just threw a wrench in that, now it's a part of the emotion scale, what does that
It
mean? So just
I mean,
interesting.
not to.
Does it mean that nothing's real and
I mean,
everything's
not.
just made
I mean,
up?
that's the point of language, is to make a sound that associates with an
Right,
image. Because you're
right.
putting letters and together for words to make sounds that when we hear that sound, it induces an
Identifies.
image, and so I don't know,
I
not
know that.
not to get like not to go all analytical, and so that, I mean, I don't know, that that's how.
Or philosophical, because an orange is orange, right?
Yeah.
Where did orange, did someone, right, in Latin at some point, or Greek, say, I'm determining that's an
Is
orange, right?
Yeah, the
Right,
there's some oranges are clementines. I mean, they're not technically oranges,
right.
but
But I'm saying is that the color we all agree is orange.
yes.
Why? Because the fruit of an orange is not orange; it's a fruit. That would
Right.
be citrus, right? So I mean, it's just fun stuff to think about words,
Yeah.
and
Et-
then kind of the origins. I love the origins of words and names.
yeah,
But you think,
etymology is fun.
yeah, but it's really what's so interesting is to think sometimes you just go, it's all made up. Someone just woke up one day and say, we're going to call that a grape.
Yeah.
And wait,
It's
we called it purple, but then one of the green ones came up. So now we have to call it a, a group of grapes. We're going to call
yeah,
it grape,
sitting
and all the grapes are the same, different colors.
and yeah.
And now green is going to be what? Green's just going to be green. Because we used to call it grass, or we used to call grass green, and now there's 80 billion different types of grasses, and some were brown. Grass turns brown.
So, yeah,
Think
orange
about it.
is the food. So were there other foods?
Why wasn't a kumquat? Kumquats are orange.
Yeah, what other colors
What
are
about a tangelo?
there? Are other I can't think right now about it, but I think there are some other colors that are
Food
named
like
specifically,
a blueberry.
Like the color is the definition.
Right.
It's
And a blueberry is purple.
technically.
Right.
Blackberries are kind of purple too.
Right.
Or
And
some of them are a deep red.
a deep red, right? More like a dark ruby red.
Yeah. Raspberry is a color as well as
right.
So
no, I would say the raspberry is close to everything. You know why? Because it's not a dominant color. So everyone's like, it's let's just stick with raspberry.
Raspberry. Yeah.
We're not going to have, because raspberries are only one color. Maybe. Are there different color raspberries? I guess we'd have to look that up.
Yeah, no, I think raspberries.
I just think language is so funny. It's so amazing.
My shirt is kind
English?
of a raspberry color.
A what?
My if you were actually in the room, my shirt
I can
is
see
kind
it.
of
No, I get it.
It's
it looks
kind of
like
a raspberry color.
Yeah. It looks like raspberry sherbet.
Yeah, it's kind of like that raspberry little, but more on the pink side.
So but that's interesting with words. So that's what's trippy about soulmate. Do you have anything to talk about this week on 6.2? Or freestyling our conversation?
No thoughts. Just I thought it was super funny when I was checking the video to bounce everything down, and I hit play, and it was only Rita talking, and she was just talking to herself.
Sometimes
it's cracked me up. I was just like, I should put this out anyway. An hour of Rita just talking to herself.
We might have to have a meeting and think maybe it's divine intervention. Maybe what the 80 billion trillion people want is me talking.
I'll cut myself out of the picture.
And just hear Rita respond or say, yeah. Ryan, come on.
Like, where is she getting that from?
So do we have a way to have a third box so we can invite guests? Or
yes.
Is that a big thing?
We should do a test thing. Because I need to see how what my options are for dividing it up,
right.
For the cameras. So yeah, we'll do a 3-box test, so that way I can. We'll do a 3-person Zoom test, so that way I can capture that, and then go see what my options are, and make a design.
Did you grow up with pets? I know you grew up on the farm. Yes. Did you have dogs and cats?
Yes.
If you had a dog right now, you could have any dog you wanted. What kind of dog would it be?
Oh man. Okay.
First one that comes to mind. First one.
The like a wolf, or like
one
of those
hybrids.
The huskies that are about as close to being a wolf as you can.
Do you have a good vacuum cleaner? Because they are.
That would be my first.
A lot of hair.
But that's not what I would. I wouldn't get one. I think.
No, but think of your wolf.
But dog. That's what I would want. But I would probably end up getting like a greyhound or something. Either a greyhound or a Great Dane. Maybe a bulldog.
Those are such 4 completely different dogs. Okay, but let's go with the wolf dog first. The hybrid. Okay. What would that dog's name be, and would it be a girl or boy?
I don't know.
Would your wolf be a boy? In your pretend world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What's the dog's name? First thing that comes to mind.
Wolf.
Okay. What about the bulldog? Bulldog's name.
I don't know. Maybe something like kind of weird, like Ralph. Or Frank.
We said Ralph at the same time.
Yeah, Frank.
I knew it was going to be Ralph. I'm psychic.
Like.
We both said Ralph.
Yeah.
Do not screw up this video, Ryan. This could be my start into psychic medium.
All right.
Okay, I'll name your next dog.
Okay.
So you had the greyhound. I kind of feel like the greyhound's a girl.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Could
Chloe.
be. I don't. I
How do you feel
don't.
about Chloe? Psychically.
Uh, no,
No. All right. Susan?
no. I wouldn't pick a real name for it for the Greyhound. It'd be something weird.
Like Fontana?
No,
Like
like
Go Fast?
like spaceship or wagon or something like something real
Speedster.
like oh no,
Okay,
that's a
so
little too like it
right.
would be something like sort of left
And just for the
field.
video, greyhounds are huge in the rescue world. So
Yeah,
protect
yeah.
the
I
greyhounds.
have
And
had some friends back in Kentucky. When I lived in Louisville for a while, they all of their dogs were always rescued greyhounds, and they're super sweet. And
really sweet.
I like big dogs. Like I'm a fan of big dogs,
Yeah,
and so they fit in the big dog for me.
definitely.
Yeah, the
Really cool big dogs are Borzois.
I
They look
don't
like
know.
Afghans. Afghans.
I'm not picturing
Okay.
what it.
So, but anyway, but they're really beautiful, regal looking dogs. Now, the Great Danes,
I love
I
Great
always
Danes.
knew the Great Danes, sweet, lumbering, these
The
really, really big dogs. They're really good city dogs because, they don't require a tremendous amount. They can lay around all day.
oh, they love nothing more than to lay out in the sun and the
Right,
dirt
right.
and the
They're not
grass.
super, like a Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah. Oh,
I,
they're the
right,
devil. Jack
right.
Russells are evil.
But just like with every
they're
dog that,
they're the
right,
meanest sons of bitches I've ever. Oh my gosh, Jack Russells are.
nip, 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 nip,
Oh
nip, nip,
man,
nip, nip, nip.
they're
Rrr, rrr,
mean
rrr.
too. They're anyway. But I do love Great Danes. My friends have Great Danes. So I uh see Great Danes almost every day. Like get to hang out with them. They're so fun. They're
Yeah, they
sweet.
are, and they're such a loving dog. I unfortunately met for the first time in my life, and it happens with every breed. There's one or two that are off, and
Oh.
this was a super aggressive one,
Oh
which was
no.
really surprising. And this dog
That's
hated
surprising and
dogs,
scary.
right?
Oh
And the
well,
reason, yeah. So, but
was how was the Great Dane around humans?
fine around humans, but in order to go out, they've had to put a muzzle on them, which made it more intimidating for humans to go like, "What the heck?" Because
Yeah,
the owner would
I
have to say, "I'm terribly sorry, it's not the humans, but if a dog just randomly walks up, he'll pull my arm off to get to him." So, but it was just, and I've met, golden retrievers,
I've known some Great
yeah,
Danes to be aggressive towards other dogs.
other dogs,
Yeah,
but that's yeah,
and
yeah.
some of it is that they really just want to play and are excited by other dogs and don't know their own strength, and so
Mm.
they end up hurting. Like
Maybe, but the one dog was not having
it was
it.
just pure it was pure
Yeah,
rage.
and the fact that there's 180-pound dog, that's a
Yes,
big dog. So that dog's gonna win. I'll just tell you that that dog will win in a dog fight
right.
because they're just so big. But the
They're trained to take down
right.
boars, right?
Oh, I did not know
I
that.
think their origin is some sort of hunting dog.
Yeah, no, I could imagine that. But
Yeah, I grew
yeah,
up
that'd
with
be really.
Australian shepherds. That's
Oh,
for cause my mom milked cows, and
yeah,
so we
great
always
herding
had
dog. Mm.
Australian shepherds for herding. And they're very sweet dogs, very protective,
Very
very
protective. And I had a Sheltie
very
Australian Shepherd
hairy.
mix. So much hair.
So
So much
fucking
hair.
much hair. Oh my god.
So much hair.
They were never allowed like in the main part of the house with it,
Um,
because of the hair. Like they always had to like stay over on the like utilities. You know, we're farmers, so the
right,
utility side where the
right. And they
um
were outside, right? The All my pets are part of the family, and it just goes. I would tell people it's like they're like, how do you deal with it? I said, you adapt. You remove the carpet and you put hardwood floors in, or
mhm.
if you're lucky, there's hardwood floors under the carpet because it's just part of it. Now, there's certain places, especially when um, uh, older people visit, that I'll keep a sheet over a couch or chairs because it's so embarrassing when they stand up and they've got, their behinds all loaded with dog hair. That's like embedded because the hair is so fine. It's in everything. It's in the dryer vent. It's in all the clothes. So and as a pet person for years, you just don't see it like someone who doesn't. But yeah, they are. I sometimes would think, oh, this short-haired lab, perfect. Thinking, and then I think it's hair everywhere.
Yeah.
I have no idea why they're not bald. They must, grow their hair at such a rate. But
that's why I also am thinking, like, if I were to get a dog, it might be a greyhound because they're short hair. It's easy. Great Danes also have shorter hair, but they still shed a lot. But
yeah, it's just so interesting.
But I would go more towards especially in Southern California.
Oh, right.
Because I would think about that and be like it's too hot for a. I mean, there are a lot of those type of dogs out, but
I know that, or
I just feel bad
about
for
the
the
wolf,
dogs
or you
sometimes.
talk about the Newfoundland.
Yeah,
these big.
If I lived in Colorado, that's
right.
where that's
because
where
all you
they
see
need to be.
right in here in the Bay Area, you see people with these dogs. All they do is pant all day long during the summer. And it's right. They're used to being up in the snow, and but
they want to run the mountains.
Right, and then the other drawback to such big dogs, they just don't live as long. They don't have a lifespan like a smaller dog, and that's the tough part.
It is.
Yeah, that's tough too. And
the
some breeds.
One smaller dog that I do like, a smaller dog breed, are the corgis, the Welsh corgis. Like they're super fun.
But I love, just because it's in my background and just being part of all different types of breeds of dogs, and I love just these great books on the history of the dog, where they come from.
Wolves. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, but then just how they're domesticated throughout the years, coming from different countries, and just over the years. But there's such a great connection for humans, and so there's just people who have pets, they understand, and it's really cool to not only experience them, but have the experiences of talking to people who say, I know what it's like to have one of the best dogs ever, and tell their story, and then the grief when they lose them, and then they move on to the next pet, and then their stories, and on and on and on. And it's really cool, because we are people like to be connected. And I think pets, for some people, take that role when they're far from their family, and just that amazing, especially certain breeds. What I love about being connected to the pet industry.
For now, pets also taking the place of children, because people are waiting to have kids longer and longer, and then they're getting that parental force that humans tend to have out through owning a pet.
Right. And just it's a different relationship, of course, and probably the majority of people, especially when you pick a dog that fits your lifestyle. So it's your running partner.
That's important,
right?
I've also thought about that. This might be a commercial for me getting a greyhound, but I like running. Like whenever I am home. Right now I'm doing a lot of manual labor, so I don't really have the extra energy to go for several mile runs, but I love running. And so I would want a dog that I don't want a dog I'm not going to break because I'm taking it out for 8 miles.
Right.
Or something,
Right. And that's So I saw this great thing that reminded me. This guy ran, 5 miles a day every morning with his lab, happy as a clam. Dogs happy as a clam, running. And then he tore a tendon in his calf, and he had to have surgery. And so here he is on his bike, riding his bike with his dog, so his dog could get his run in.
Right.
And he's got the one leg, bent in, but he's just pedaling with one leg. And I said, that guy so loves his dog.
Yeah.
It's like making sure, right? Just going all right, dude, you need to get your time in. And dogs, happy as a clam. Doesn't matter if you're on a bike or whatever. It's really cool. And that was a big
some
thing.
dogs need the exercise, and that's that's one of the things that kind of bothers me about city pets, is that a lot of people in the city I don't feel like they take their dogs out enough, like, because the dogs have a lot of energy, and so you need to go out, because they grew up. Their instinct is hunt and chase and kill things, and
Right. And so
so you
one of two
have to
things will
get that
happen. Right.
energy out.
Right. They'll
Wh-
either do one of two things. They will destroy things because that's what happens. They're
Yeah,
going to bring that energy. They're going to eat the blinds or the couch or the chair, chew on it all day.
hmm your
Or
shoes, your clothes.
it opens up a different window of business. You've got a dog walker,
hmm
right? And somebody come in to walk the dog. We've got dog daycare. People take to. But yeah, I agree. Like in the olden days, their dog would just live in the backyard,
Yeah, let them run.
and then it would escape because nobody neutered their
Well,
dogs.
our
And when the
our
female was
Australian Shepherds got plenty of exercise because they were also work dogs.
well,
Like,
they're work
'cause,
dogs, right? Yeah,
yeah,
but that's
so
the domestication.
they ran,
Right.
like they would get the cows, so they were running, at
Right.
least twice a day.
But here's my pet, and I'll do my PSA, not a commercial. But anything with pets, I think one of the most important thing is not how they look, but how they fit your lifestyle. Because there's so many breeds. People return dogs, believe it or not,
Yeah,
because they get them as a puppy because they're the cutest puppy in the world, and then all of a sudden they realize, ugh, I just got a 90-pound dog who needs to be trained. And they're not like when I was a kid growing up. People still have that idea, like when I was a kid, we didn't teach them anything. Somebody did. Your parents probably did.
right.
But yeah, that's the biggest thing because
Smack the shit out
right.
of the dog for
right. And the big thing,
back
right?
when
Because
when people were violent for
Right.
to
And
solve
there
all
are
the problems.
right, and things that that just like we talk about, you got a little puppy growing up, and you're like, oh my gosh, they just chewed the corner of something, and somebody who knows a little bit about pet behavior would say he's burning energy. He's not, he can't be left to his own as a puppy in the backyard. He's not going to run circles by himself. He needs to be encouraged to go run and play, or put it, some things like that. But my PSA is
And
know the
it's
type of dog, and
good for
really,
dogs to play. Dogs should be like people. They need to socialize.
absolutely. And that's and I would say a lot of people do it, but that's my PSA is just educate people.
Yeah.
And because we have a lot of trends. Remember when the Chihuahua was big, when Taco Bell was promoting the Chihuahua? People don't realize Chihuahuas can be little land sharks.
Oh yeah,
And
some of them
they
are.
they can get super devoted to their one person, and anybody else is fair game.
Yep.
And so, it's all fun and games when it's adult, but the minute that dog bites a kid, that dog's going back to wherever they came from.
Right.
And so the shelters are full of Chihuahuas, Rottweilers, and Pit Bulls.
The
Right,
Rottweilers
so-
and Pit Bulls are traditionally so sweet. Like I most of those that I've encountered are just like the nicest, sweetest dogs that
When
like,
I was
especially
a kid,
pit bulls,
right.
like you usually have to be like, just get off, like stop,
Well, I
stop
used to tell a
cuddling
story,
against me.
yeah.
You're licking too much.
Right. When I started, I was 19 in the veterinary world. The pit bulls were named Buttercup and Honey, and then, but just the
Nice.
human, right? We had the human environment involved to say, these dogs, we can get them bigger and bigger, and that jaw can do a lot of damage. And but you have to actively take that dog and anti-socialize it, even though that's not a word. You have to, right, chain it up to a tree out in front and make the world
They're
a
making
scary
them
place.
crazy.
Right. They're just making them, and biting comes from fear. So that's the thing. And then working in a city that, people lost their insurance if they had one. And then people had to go around by saying they're a Staffordshire Terrier, they're a Terrier Cross, wouldn't call them a pit bull, to save the dog's life or to keep insurance. But there was a huge, moment when people are like, I can't keep this dog because I'm going to lose my home insurance.
Wow.
Or and it was because there was a lot of problems.
Yeah, I feel really bad that those dogs
huge
get
rescue
a bad rep.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that in the Bay Area there was the organization, I think they're still there.
Oh my
called
God.
Bad Rap, where they were
Have
grabbing
you
dogs.
seen that show on the Animal Planet
When with the lady with
yeah,
the
pit
pink hair?
bulls
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
parolees.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, when I used to work at the reality show that I used to work for,
Right.
they like one of my job, like I worked in the office part, so I was
Right.
the receptionist a lot of times, and I would put it on Animal Planet
Right.
for the office TV, and I would love when that show would come on. It'd be like I'd be sitting there at the front desk, and I'd be like getting all emotional and start crying. Be like, I hope somebody walks by. Hope nobody sees me crying here at the front desk because this
Well,
is
I think right, and that so
it,
there's that two part of that where the education comes in is that
it's a good show if you
that
haven't seen
there's
it.
it is, but there's that um old people still will take a dog and dump it out in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
you know,
so
and that
sad.
dog, right, and so the life expectancy of that dog drops precipitously because of that. You got to get
Right.
hit by a car or starves to death or gets in a fight with that, all that stuff. So um, then of course, taking him to show, but it's all the human level of responsibility, and that's and the nice thing. I mean, pit bulls have gotten a much better. We've gone through that time where everyone was terrified, so it got over dramatized.
Mm-hmm.
But I, I'm hoping, and what we used to talk to people about is that dog being trained on the other side of your door when someone's trying to come in and break in is a much bigger threat. Because if
Yeah.
I were a burglar and I was going to a house and I saw a big fat block-headed pit bull looking at me,
Yeah.
I would instantly have to say, is this a good one or a mad one? And so I think that's where we turn the corner, where a lot of people going, all right, it's like, not only do I have to find, because it's also, there's some people, it's an extension of them.
You
So if
should
it's a
get an
big,
insurance break for having a pit bull because that means people are going to mess with your stuff less. So that because you get discounts on insurance for having extra safety features
right, but
and alarms.
you can't police who owns it. So maybe
But
99% of
no,
people
so
will do it.
instead of
Right, right,
I was just more saying it's
right,
backwards. Like people shouldn't
right,
be getting their insurance canceled because of pit bulls. They should get
right.
a discount
It's
because
just that, right. It's just that, right. So that, but it's like I said, it's that one person who doesn't follow the rules, who lets his dog run nilly willy, and if they're not trained properly, as
yeah.
we all know, their jaw can lock,
Oh,
and
that could
small
be
things. Yeah,
that could be a good insurance grift that if any of those insurance companies want to do like put your dog through proper training.
yeah. No, 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 no. I nobody wants to touch that subject. And the fun part is that if people really wanted to know, pit bulls aren't even in the top 10 bite dogs. Got German
Oh,
Shepherd leading the pack.
oh,
Chow Chows are next.
German
Yeah,
German shepherds are really the only dogs that I'm a little scared of because they're the only dog that as a child ever bit me.
that's one. And then
Um
German Shepherds they're the number one biter reported, to animal control cross country. The Chow Chow is one of the most feared because the Chow Chow is unpredictable. So they're gorgeous, big bear looking dogs, and they're happy as a clam, and they don't like something, and they bite to hurt. And so they're like the number two. Now I haven't checked the
temperamental.
statistics in a couple of years, but and then there's a whole list of dogs and then again, even the SPCA puts out a
Yeah,
book.
Jack Russell Terriers are definitely above the
I
pit
don't know
bulls,
them.
right?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if they're biters. I just know they're
I've been
yeah,
bit by a few Jack
Jack
Russells.
Russells.
Yeah.
But yeah, the SPCA is a book that lists out all the breeds and all their medical issues and all their behavioral issues. So again, another PSA is to say you don't even have to get the book; you can just get online and find it, and to say that just to make sure it fits your lifestyle, and because you have to. That's one thing, especially if you get a puppy, you have to have the time to train it.
Yeah.
And take the time to, whether it's crate training for potty training, different ways, so that whatever lifestyle you have, you can train the dog for that lifestyle. And rescue's great because there's a lot of pets that need homes.
Yep.
And then a lot of pets that are older that just like adoption, the
If you
older a
want a new
child
pet,
gets,
check into your local ASPCA
yeah,
and
first look online. But it's
see what
a
they've got going
right.
on.
And I mean, I don't judge at all wherever you get
Yeah.
them.
And I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people give away dogs on Craigslist. Hit that free section.
Yeah. And remember, and then this was the hard part is there was a
That's how
big
my
thing.
friends got.
Yeah.
They have two Great Danes. That's how they got both of their Great Danes. They didn't intend
Mhm.
on getting them.
Yeah.
Someone hit them up. They were like, "Hey,
Right.
you guys like Great Danes? Here's a free one if you want it."
And one thing, if you work in the pet industry, there is no shortage of dogs that need homes.
Nope.
None. So I always, all my pets were always rescued, and I got to the point where I would tell the team, don't wish for any breed because it's going to come in the door. Because my first dog, I said, I always wanted a golden retriever. Boom, here comes a golden retriever. I always wanted a Sheltie type dog. Here comes the Sheltie Australian Shepherd mix. Then it's like, I always thought pugs were like the cutest dogs in the world. Boom. And I said, but I know I'm never getting that because they never come in young. Here comes a 1-year-old pug. So I always have to say, be careful. You have to, I have to keep my my wishes.
I feel
my pet
really
wishes.
bad for the short-nosed dogs. Like the one, like, because pugs have breathing problems a lot of times.
Yeah, that smush.
The
sinuses.
smush face, like
yeah,
some of the like. Anyway, there's a couple other dog breeds that I'm like.
And there's cats, yeah, and it's interesting that how we breed for certain looks. The more smush, the better for Persian cats or for pugs or the Boston Terriers. The ones real smush, the bulldogs, and so yeah, it's just
the Boston Terriers are smaller, right? That might be the one.
Smaller than a pug. I think they're
taller.
No,
they're taller.
Yeah,
they're smaller than a bulldog. Like they're like on the would be almost. They're on the large side of a smaller dog, right?
But
okay,
I love like
Boston Terriers are super cute.
Now Boston Terriers are kind of in that pug and in the bulldog.
Yeah,
they're
and I feel bad for the purebred ones, like like because the medical issues that they have. Where I'm like,
well,
man.
that's what's interesting too is that anymore, if people want a purebred dog, they really have to do a lot of research, and because one of two things, I've seen it before. Some person just put them, they're not AKC, they're not, registered, and they have a perfect healthy dog, gorgeous dog, looks like a purebred, everything right, and then they've got one that has got, a lineage going back to the start of man and all champions and all this and that, and one problem after the other. So it's just, and that, because I think the best thing is educate yourself on the type of breed you want, what you're attracted to, and then find out, does your life and the expectations. So if you've got a large breed that has a history of dysplasia, you cannot guarantee that dog at a puppy will not have dysplasia. But then be prepared for that because they may need to be either have a hip replacement or be on therapeutics.
And see, dogs all have personalities, so take a minute to see which, if you and that dog's personalities.
Yep. Me, I want the goofy, doofy, retriever. Like, I'm happy no matter what, as long as I'm with you. That's my bottom line. Talk all you want, Rita.
Yeah, those. Whatever you say.
Just
scratch my head.
That's right.
Rub my belly.
I'm good. It's like, oh, I'm set. But yeah, the smart ones. I've had a German Shepherd before. I adopted a German Shepherd, and I always made a joke to say that dog's way smarter than me. Way smarter than me. And a
lot of the shepherds, like German Shepherds, Australian, like the Shepherd, they're all very smart dogs.
Smart dogs, and they're supposed to be. I didn't have one that had a prey drive. He was what I would call a golden retriever on the inside, like in terms of his compassion, and he loved everybody. He was just humongous, really tall, and really a broad chest. So I would just laugh because here I am walking the dog, and you'd see somebody a block away, and across the street, because they'd see this, big black and gold dog walking really tall, going, yeah, that's somebody who probably got bit by a German Shepherd when they were a kid. But that's what yes, but he was a sweet, sweet dog. It's just that it was his way or the highway. If if he didn't want to use the dog door to go outside, he would just pound on the sliding glass door till but anyway, but they're all amazing. Pets are amazing, but if people want them, I encourage them. Oh, and that's the other thing right now. I guess a lot of people adopted pets for COVID because they were home and now they're going back to work. They're taking them back to the pound. So if you've ever wanted a different, there's probably a lot of different pets in the pound, more so than the typical ones that get returned.
And if you want more pets.
If you want more pets. But yeah, people are going to do what they do. But again, I think and that may be another show that you'll have to produce for me, Ryan.
Yeah, pets.
If I would call it the business of pets
I would like to own a pet one day. I would like to own a pet one day. So please support the Rita and Ryan podcast so I can afford an apartment that is large enough and allows pets.
Okay, that wasn't really planned.
No.
That we were leading into your benefit from.
Yes, because I would know all of this pet talk. I'm like, damn it, I kind of want a dog, but I can't have a dog right now because I care about the well-being of a dog, and it just wouldn't be.
You can't.
No, I can't. But I would
Plus,
like
remember
to.
You said right.
So,
yeah. No, I know.
Please support the show so I can get a bigger apartment that will let me have a dog.
You need to move out of LA.
I ain't gonna necessarily argue there. I'm
gotta move down to wait a minute, it's down south, so you move up to Northern California. Where the normal people are.
I'm thinking Florida. I can't live somewhere that has seasons.
Florida doesn't have seasons? They just have the hurricane.
Yeah, I mean it's warm most of the year in Florida.
Right. But you have that. That's the thing you'll
Texas,
have to let me know. How's the humidity?
It's very humid. I hate the humidity out there.
Yes,
like that is that is my only hang up with moving back east. Right. Is the humidity out there?
Yeah, Jenny, her
it's terrible.
Her AC went out. Her central air went out. She was waiting for someone to fix the thermostat, and she's like, "It's the humidity. It's terrible."
You don't stop sweating.
Right.
Ever. You don't it's like 70 degrees out and you're like, oh my God. At least that's how I felt.
Well, my mom had said growing up, in New York, she said, you guys don't know what humidity is. And she would tell the story of you take a shower, you get out of the shower and you can't dry off.
Yeah.
And I would go, that's weird.
Sometimes
and then I went to
gross.
I was in Wisconsin for a business meeting. And it was shocking how unprepared I was. And it wasn't because you think I'll take a cool shower. It'll be a relief.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm blow drying my hair and my hair can't get dry. Cause the second it's like, oh, it's time for hairspray. It's all flat and wet again. So but what cracked me up though, because of course it's worse for people who have never acclimated to it. So it's like a shock to the system. But for everybody else walking around, because I'm saying, why isn't the AC on full blast 24/7 everywhere? But people are like, oh, a storm's going to come in and it's going to cool right off. That's what everyone would tell me. I go to South Carolina. It's like, the humidity is pretty bad here. Oh, a storm's coming in. Don't worry. And all I kept doing is look up the sky going, where the hell is the storm? Because my hair has to dry.
Yeah, I don't miss the humidity, but I do like. I used to go to because I grew up, on that side of the country. So I used to go to Florida a lot. I've been scuba diving in the Keys. The humidity's not that bad when you're kind of living that island life in Florida. It's definitely more. It's definitely way more laid back, Wild West out there, which I kind of enjoy.
I totally agree, and that's why I added the thing of it was for a business trip. if I didn't have to have a suit on every day, slacks and a blouse and a
Yeah,
jacket,
if you
I
can.
would have been tank top and shorts and Birkenstocks, for God's sake, running around. It would have been a lot different. But it's like yeah, and it's very
I'm actually
for me
looking into
personally.
scuba diving jobs that I can get, like
You can go
coming
to the
up.
Bahamas. You do it in Bahamas.
I want to
Yeah,
live in my end
yeah,
goal is I'm gonna be streaming this from the Bahamas,
yeah.
but
Right.
um, yeah.
Well, kind of have. So I scuba dive too. So maybe we could do.
Oh, we can set
We
up
could have a little
tours.
studio.
We can
Then we
set
could be
a
in the same shot, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, have a
yeah.
little place. So well, hell, maybe we'll be doing this live streaming from our little section of
Right.
the little section of
Say
a town
thank
in
you,
Bahamas
everyone, for
for
your
for
great support.
for like I
We just want to go to Bahamas. Thank you very much.
and my
Right.
logic with it is like living in the Bahamas like can't be that much more expensive than living in LA. Like
That's a
you
good point.
know,
Yeah, I
like
remember doing the
how
same thing.
much
Yeah,
so if I can like shift into where I'm making more money online, doing digital stuff, and
doesn't
as
matter where you
well
live.
as I'm dusting off
Okay.
my scuba diving stuff,
Right.
uh seeing what
That's
seeing
not a
what
bad
type
idea.
of
And
because
then
there's all
right.
different types of scuba diving type jobs that you can get to, and it is a skill I have and a certification I went through, and
Right.
I need to use it.
And because you've been digging tunnels, I mean, because
Yeah.
working on the boats and working on the docks and getting tourism out there, you're lifting a lot of tanks. That's
And
so that's a manual work. But then
it
if you get to lead a dive, that's amazing. You get to dive every
yeah.
day.
And like I wouldn't mind bottom cleaning, that's one of the things I'm thinking about doing, like getting
That's nice.
into.
Yeah,
You just
yeah, it's
go
nice.
underwater and, scrape clean the bottoms of boats so people don't have to dock them, and just sort of zen out and make
That'd be interesting. I wonder. I didn't. I guess the boats that because I usually will travel, especially outside the country, on liverboards. We're in a boat for 12 days, and you're just
okay.
out in the middle of nowhere,
That's
and
fun.
it's amazing. But they call it eat, sleep, and dive. That's all you do.
Yeah, I did that in the Bahamas when I
Yeah.
was in high school.
Excuse
It
me.
was kind of why my thing with Bahamas, like going there, living on a boat, scuba diving,
Yeah.
damn near
So
every
there's
day.
but I've seen some amazing,
Like
amazing things that you can't see.
mhm.
That there's no.
It's
You're going to
beautiful.
right? Like it's going to Costa Rica, Shark Island. You have to go by boat, and it's hours to get there from land. And the reason it's so beautiful and amazing is there's no tourism. And pardon me for a second.
Mhm.
I just got a tickle.
It
But
happens.
that's how they're keeping this area pristine.
Is by limiting the tourism.
Only so many boats can travel through at a certain time.
Okay.
No two boats can be docked at the same time. So, and then they limit the distance of time between, so that the coral and the sea life is not too disruptive. And there's a limited amount. And these are trips that you'd wait in line for 2 years to get on because it's so limited. But
Mhm.
I am so lucky. I've been to Costa Rica on these liverboards 3 times.
Oh, nice.
On
Yeah,
well,
it's
Shark
been
Island's pretty
years
amazing.
since I've been scuba diving. I would
Yeah.
I definitely want to go again.
It's amazing. But I think tell me what the time is. How are we doing on time?
We are speaking of time. This is a good place to wrap it up. We
Okay.
are 1:14. So
Oh my gosh, I didn't. Then I was over on time. I was trying to hit an hour, and I've gone over.
no, but we actually rounded it out to a very good end with the diving. I think it would came to a great conclusion with a nice round end, and 1:15 isn't a bad time.
No,
I like it.
Not in California time.
No.
It's still early in the day. No,
Oh no, an
oh,
hour
no, it's not
and
1:15. I get it.
an
No,
hour and 15. Yeah,
like
it's
totally
not
for
too.
sure. Like I totally knew what you're talking about. Like totally.
Yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Rita and Ryan Podcast. I am Ryan. Follow me at trashcanconductor.com. You can find all my links there. Check out some of the projects that I've been working on, cartoons, music, and all of that jazz.
And I'm Rita, and just tune into the Rita and Ryan podcast.
Yep.
Watch us with all of the 80 billion trillion viewers, and especially Ryan's mom and Jenny,
Yep.
Chef Jenny Fox, soon to be famous, and a diva. I'm going to train her to be a diva just so we can mess with you.
God.
I know. So
Heaven help us all.
Jenny's Diva in Training by Rita. So because I quit yesterday, the Rita Ryan show. And then later I said, am I fired? And he says, you quit. I can't fire you. And here we are. So I had my diva moment. But thank you. We will see you next week or whenever if Ryan successfully gets 6.2.
Yes.
It feels like it's going to work though, because we actually.
I feel good about this. I feel good.
I feel good because you did not freeze up or cackle or crinkle on the voice and no max headroom. So bye everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a happy day.